You don't need a new planner, a new job, or a new year. You need three simple words, just three, but they will change everything. Your focus, your discipline, your life. If you're tired of drifting, it's time to anchor yourself. Let's get to it. We live in a world of noise, constant distractions, endless to-do lists, and goals that never seem to stick. But what if the answer wasn't more effort, but more clarity? These three words will cut through the chaos. They will transform how you think, act, and live. Say them every day and you'll stop reacting and start rising. Number one, decide, commit, act. These three words aren't just motivational fluff, they're a mindset, a framework, and a battle cry. In a world drowning in hesitation, overthinking, and procrastination, these words cut through the fog like a blade. Decide, commit, act. That's how momentum is born. That's how transformation begins. Let's break it down. Decide. This is where most people get stuck. They linger in the land of maybe. They dip their toes into change but never dive in. Why? Because decisions are uncomfortable. They require courage. They eliminate the escape routes. But here's the truth. Indecision is a silent thief. It steals time, energy, and opportunity. Every minute you spend wondering if you should start is a minute you could have spent building something. Progress doesn't begin until you decide. A real decision is more than a preference. It's a turning point. When you decide, you declare to yourself and the world, this is the direction I'm going. There's power in that clarity. It gives your actions purpose. It aligns your energy. Decision is the first domino. Once it falls, the rest can follow. Commit. Deciding is step one, but commitment is what separates the talkers from the doers. Commitment means you don't quit when it gets hard. You don't retreat when motivation fades. You stay in the fight. And guess what? Motivation will fade. Life will throw curveballs. There will be days you don't feel like showing up. Commitment is the contract you sign with your future self saying, I'm in this no matter what. When you commit, you close the back door. You stop looking for exit strategies. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what do I need to do to make it work? That shift is everything. It moves you from being a spectator of your goals to being the architect of your life. Act. This is where dreams meet reality. You can decide all day. You can even commit mentally. But nothing changes until you act. Action is the force that brings your decision to life. Action is where confidence is built. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're proving to yourself that you're serious. You're becoming the kind of person who follows through. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait to feel ready. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. One small action done consistently is more powerful than 1,000 big ideas left unexecuted. Action creates clarity. Action builds momentum. And action is how you move from potential to progress. So what's the formula? Decide what matters. Commit to showing up. Act without excuses. These aren't just words. They're a way of life. Repeat them daily. Embody them fully. Live them relentlessly. Because when you decide, commit, and act, there is nothing you can't accomplish. Number two, clarity over chaos. We live in an age where distraction is the default. Your phone buzzes, notifications pop, the to-do list grows. The world screams for your attention, and most people give it away without a second thought. That's how chaos wins. But the antidote to this noise is one powerful principle: clarity over chaos. Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want. It's about knowing what not to care about. It's the ability to focus on what truly matters and let the rest fade into the background. Without clarity, even the most motivated person will spin their wheels, working hard but going nowhere. With clarity, even small efforts produce massive results because you're aiming in the right direction. So how do you develop clarity? It starts with asking better questions. Every morning, instead of asking, what do I need to get done today? Ask yourself, what's the one thing I could do today that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? That's a question of priority, not productivity. It narrows your focus to what moves the needle. Because here's the truth. Busyness is not progress. Being overwhelmed doesn't mean you're important. It often means you're unfocused. Most people don't need more time, they need more direction. They chase every shiny object, start 10 things, and finish none. But high performers, they choose less and they win more. Why? Because they prioritize clarity over chaos. Clarity also creates emotional power. When you're clear about who you are, what you value, and where you're going, you stop needing external validation. You don't get shaken by someone else's opinion. You don't compare yourself to everyone else's highlight reel. You stay grounded in your mission, your standards, your next step. That kind of clarity is rare, and it's magnetic. Think of clarity like a spotlight. When you shine it on something specific, you can cut through the darkness. But when that same light is diffused and scattered, it doesn't have the same power. Your energy is the same way. Don't scatter it, focus it. Decide what matters. Eliminate what doesn't. Here's a simple habit. Every Sunday or Monday morning, take 10 minutes to write down your top 3 priorities for the week. Not 20. Just 3. Ask what will matter a year from now. Focus there. Say no to the noise. Your calendar, your goals, and your energy should reflect that focus. Clarity leads to action. Action builds confidence. Confidence creates momentum. That's the cycle of growth, but it starts with knowing what matters. So stop trying to do everything. Start doing the right thing. Choose clarity over chaos. Because when you're clear, you don't need motivation. You don't need a push. You know exactly where you're going. And that kind of focus, it's unstoppable. Number 3, discipline equals freedom. At first glance, discipline might sound like a rigid, joyless word, something that restricts your life and forces you into a boring routine. But here's the paradox. Discipline is the path to true freedom. It's the foundation that allows you to design the life you want, to wake up with purpose, and to say yes to the things that matter most. Think about it this way. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of your impulses, distractions, and moods. You live reactively, bouncing from one thing to the next, driven by whatever feels good in the moment. That might sound fun for a while, but it's a fast track to frustration, wasted time, and unfulfilled potential. Discipline flips the script. It's not about restriction. It's about control. It's the ability to make decisions that serve your long-term goals, even when your emotions scream to do otherwise. It's waking up early to train your body because you value health. It's choosing to save money instead of spending on impulse because you want financial freedom. It's turning off the TV to read or work on a skill because you're committed to growth. Jocko Willink, the former Navy SEAL, says it best. Discipline equals freedom. When you have discipline, you don't need to feel motivated every day. You don't need to waste energy debating whether or not to do something. You've built habits and systems that carry you forward no matter what. And here's the beauty. Discipline creates space. Space from chaos. Space from regret. Space to focus on what truly matters. When you're disciplined in your daily routines, your decisions become automatic. You stop wasting willpower on trivial choices. That mental energy frees you up to innovate, create, and live on your terms. Discipline also builds confidence. Every time you say no to distraction and yes to your goals, you're reinforcing your identity as a person who can be trusted by yourself. That trust is powerful. It transforms your mindset from "I hope I can do this" to "I know I will do this." But discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up again and again, even when it's hard. The best part, once you master discipline in one area, it spills over into every part of your life. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you unlock. So don't run from discipline. Chase it. Invite. Build your life around it. Because discipline isn't a cage. It's the key that opens every door you want to walk through. Number 4. Identity drives behavior. Here's a powerful truth that changes everything. Your actions don't shape your identity. Your identity shapes your action. Most people chase goals like lose 20 pounds or write a book, but they miss the deeper secret behind lasting change. It's not about hitting the goal. It's about becoming the person who naturally achieves that goal. Think about it. When you focus only on outcomes, you rely on motivation, willpower, and external circumstances. Those are shaky foundations. But when you root your behavior in your identity, you build something unshakable. Because your identity is who you believe you are deep down, and every action you take is a vote for that identity. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Am I the kind of person who follows through? The kind of person who shows up even when it's tough? The kind of person who values growth, health, or discipline? When you decide who you want to be, your behaviors start to align naturally. You don't have to force yourself to exercise. You do it because you're a runner. You don't have to cajole yourself to write. You do it because you're a writer. This shift from chasing goals to building identity is the secret weapon of high achievers. It's why they don't quit after one failure. They don't give up when motivation dips. Because their actions aren't just about results. They're about who they are becoming. Here's how to start. Every time you act, ask yourself, is this action a vote for the person I want to become? If it is, you're on the right track. If it's not, you're building a habit that doesn't serve your identity. Over time, these small votes compound, shaping your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your destiny. Remember, identity is not fixed. It's built moment by moment, choice by choice. You have the power to rewrite your story by deciding who you want to be and acting like that person today. When you do, the rest, success, happiness, fulfillment, naturally follows. So stop chasing outcomes and start becoming. Your identity drives your behavior, and that's how you create lasting, unstoppable change. Number 5. Own the morning. Your morning isn't just the start of your day. It's the foundation of everything that follows. How you begin sets the tone for your focus, your energy, and your decisions. The truth is simple. Win the morning, and you win the day. Most people wake up and immediately give their power away. They reach for their phones, scroll through emails, social media, and headlines before they even get out of bed. Their minds are flooded with other people's priorities, distractions, and noise. That's chaos disguised as routine, and it steals your most valuable asset, your clarity. Owning your morning means taking control of those first moments. It's not about having a 2-hour ritual filled with complicated steps. It's about creating consistent, intentional actions that anchor your mindset and focus. Even 5 minutes of deliberate practice, whether it's journaling, stretching, meditation, or simply planning your top priority, can shift your entire day. Why is this so powerful? Because your morning sets your internal narrative. It answers the question, am I in control or am I being controlled? When you take ownership, you start your day as the driver, not a passenger. You set your own agenda instead of reacting to everyone else's demands. Here's the secret. Mornings are when your willpower is strong. It naturally fades as the day goes on. So harness that fresh energy and use it to build momentum. When you own your morning, the distractions that normally derail you have less power. Your focus sharpens, your confidence grows. Think about it like this. Your morning routine is a declaration to yourself. Today matters. I matter. It's a daily commitment to your growth, your goals, and your life. When you do this consistently, you create a positive feedback loop. The more you own your morning, the more your days become productive, intentional, and fulfilling. So start tomorrow by winning your morning. Don't check your phone first thing. Don't dive into the noise. Instead, take a deep breath, set a simple intention, and take one small action that moves you closer to your goal. Own that moment, because how you own your morning determines how you own your life. Number 6, small wins daily. The path to massive success isn't about giant leaps or overnight transformations. It's about small wins, stacked consistently over time. If you want to change your life, don't wait for motivation to strike or the perfect moment to begin. Start with tiny achievable steps every single day. These small wins are the building blocks of momentum, confidence, and lasting change. Why do small wins matter so much? Because they're practical, realistic, and sustainable. Big goals can feel overwhelming. They create resistance, doubt, and sometimes paralysis. But when you break those goals into micro actions, suddenly progress feels possible. Each small win proves you can move forward. Each one builds your belief that change is happening. Here's the secret sauce. Consistency beats intensity. You could train hard for one day and then crash for a week, or you could show up for 5 minutes daily and build a habit that sticks for life. The cumulative effect of small wins creates an unstoppable force. Over weeks, months, and years, those tiny actions compound into extraordinary results. Small wins also fuel your motivation. When you see yourself making progress, even if it's just one step, your brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more you win, the more you want to win. Suddenly, habits that once felt hard become part of your identity. Celebrate those wins. Don't wait for the big achievement to feel proud. Show up, complete that task, choose the healthy option, write one sentence. Each time you do, you're telling yourself, I'm capable, I'm moving forward. And that mindset shift is what separates those who dream from those who do. Remember, success isn't a giant leap. It's a series of small, deliberate actions repeated daily. So focus on small wins. Make them your priority, because small wins daily aren't just habits. They're the foundation of the life you want to build.